Sebastian from the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I am joined by.
I'm Hytham Martin. I'm the singer for Nebularis.
I've got to say, your debut album, Exodus, Shattered Earth Saga. I've got to read that bit out. Part one. It's unleashed on the world in a few days. How excited and anxious are you?
50% excited and 50% anxious because it's something that we've had it in the works for at least the last year and a half. And we had initially wanted, so essentially I'm gonna go back a few months. This was meant to be one whole full huge large album, and we decided that we wanted to release stuff sequentially. We wanted to do single after single after single, and then put it together in a kind of a way that people could have in small bites. So this is the first part of, I suppose, I'm not even going to say a double album, because we have Shattered Earth Saga Part 1, which is Exodus, and we have Genesis, which is coming very, very soon.
Right.
They're going to be released, but we're going to release the two of them together on vinyl.
Cool. That's amazing. Honestly, when I first started listening to it, I was like, I'm listening to a little bit of Queensryche here, early Queensryche. Is that a bit of an insult, or is that all right to say that?
No, that's I don't know. Where did you hear that?
I think it was when I was listening to Cataclysm. I can't remember. I was doing something. I was in the kitchen, like, and I was like listening. And I was like, that sounds like Queensryche. That's not Queensryche. No, it's not Queensryche. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I kind of like, just as a vocalist, my entire kind of feel as a vocalist is based back in the 80s.
Right.
And of course my favorite vocalist of all time, and supposedly the most scientifically best vocalist of all time, is Freddie Mercury. So he would be my hero. So if
Okay.
if there's anything, I think it's Freddie,
All right.
not Tate. I love Tate. Tate's
Yeah.
fantastic, but
How pleased are you with the reviews from fans and the media then to the tracks you have released so far?
um I, to be honest with you, we're actually blown away. We weren't expecting that kind of response from people. I know myself, I've been in this game in Ireland for a long, long time, since the early 2000s. And I suppose with the advent of, I suppose, what we call new media or internet, etc., in the way that we do it now, um, it's fascinating to me and shocking to me how all of a sudden we have become this thing where you know you know a few weeks prior we were like this band recording, Mo's recording her guitar in a room, Damo's doing it on his electronic drums, and he goes into the studio, and then I come into the studio and start recording. Terry's doing the bass, and then all of a sudden it becomes this thing that people actually want and like and listen to. And it's just like, I don't understand. I've never experienced this kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I've never experienced this kind of want for something that I've ever recorded in my life, as I have with Nebularis, and that's the truth.
So that's like a major positive then about the internet, because I mean, there's many bad things about the internet, music industry, isn't there? What with Spotify and that, but that is a
Yeah,
positive, I guess. I mean, like, yeah, TikTok, and that, you just put it up on TikTok, a bit of a sample, blah blah blah, and it's there, isn't it? So yeah.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then you have to, as far as you have to. Damo knows this. You have to follow the algorithm, supposedly.
Mm.
So it's all about when you post stuff, what you're posting, what it looks like, even if it's landscape, or if it's, if it's a picture frame kind of thing. And it's just it's really strange, but it's something I think that bands these days, up and coming bands like ourselves, have to kind of integrate into, because it's the way it is. There's no choice. We can't hold on to the past and say, oh well, in my day we used to do it this way, but it's not going to work. So it just
No.
has to be the way it is now.
Well, it's interesting you were saying like about singles and that, because I was talking to Nicoletta from Ultra Terrarium last night, and she was saying the same. I mean, she's like
Yeah.
yourself. She's been established in the music industry a long time with another band, but she's having to start again with a debut album with this band. And like the way they're doing it is the singles and the media and learning. And it's a constant learning process with everything, isn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's completely different. Yeah, it's
mm,
a new way. I
yeah,
mean, the first album that and the first EPs that I ever did, back in the, I'm going to say the late 90s. I'm not going to show my age, but um, you know, well, we were recording on analog, so you had to do everything in one take anyway. But you know, once we started releasing EPs and albums, that was the way that you did it. You did it in such a way that the industry demanded that you either had a single, an EP, or an album.
mm,
That was it. And then once that product is out, you have to tour it, you have to sell it,
yeah,
etc., etc. But things have changed now. It's
yeah,
completely different. And that's one of the reasons why we were going single after single after single after single,
mm,
because we get much more of a response. And don't get me wrong, we're not making money. We're not making money,
no one in
but
the
we're
music
getting
industry is, are they? Unless they're
no,
fucking
nobody's making
Taylor
money,
Swift or
exactly.
whatever she's called. Yeah,
But we're getting a response from people
yeah,
that we I could not have foreseen that
yeah.
5 or 6 years ago.
As soon as I started listening to yours, I was like, "Fuck, this is fantastic! I've got to interview these guys." Julius sent it through from AFM,
Ah,
and I was
cool,
like, "Yeah, yeah, this is awesome." Um,
nice.
Everything in there, hasn't it? It's even got cellos and violins and all sorts. It's a
Yeah,
proper
yeah,
prog, mate. It's a proper prog album. I'm really
yeah.
enjoying.
We've got a good kind of we've got a good reach with different musicians from different
Mm,
genres that we can take in
yeah,
and bring into the fold, so to say. You know.
yeah, really works as well. So you were saying then, like part two is sort of already written, and you're going to be
Yeah.
releasing that on vinyl. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's like going to be amazing, especially if the artwork is going to be similar to the first
It will
album.
be. It will
Yeah.
be. It'll be the same. So essentially the way we decided was we have Shattered Earth Saga Part 1 and Part 2. So obviously the first one is Exodus,
Hmm.
second one is Genesis.
Right.
Um that will come together in let's call it volume 1.
Hmm.
And that will be a full LP. We're going to do it in vinyl. It'll be a limited release.
Yeah.
Um simply because we're not 100% sure how um a mass release or something like that. Obviously, we can't afford it in the first place, but
No.
just to see how it works. So that'll be volume 1. And now the Shattered Earth Saga it's a very long saga.
Hmm.
So it's not just, one or two,
Yeah.
extended EPs. It's a pretty long one. So we've got like we we've got a long story. We've got like narratively at least I would say 6 other releases ready with
Wow.
this. Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a sort of a record like if you had the money, if you win the lotto tomorrow or something, you can make a film
Oh
to go
yeah.
along with it, can you? That'd be awesome.
Well, I'm actually, God, I shouldn't be saying this, but so the guys know. But so I've started right. I'm also a writer as well. So I like
Okay.
writing. So I've started writing a story, a book
Cool.
based off this.
Wow.
Now, whether it becomes a graphic novel or whether it becomes an actual story or a book, we'll see. But
Mhm.
it's definitely something. I'm telling you now, it would make a fantastic anime cartoon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I can see that.
Mm.
Um, so on release day, then would you be having a party, and do you plan to live stream it? That's my cat. Excuse my cat.
It's a lovely cat.
She always
What's
makes
the
an
cat's
appearance.
name?
Tabitha, and she loves to make an appearance. I have to have her in here.
Say the name again.
Tabitha.
Oh,
Tabitha.
brilliant.
Yeah. Go on. Up we go. Ah, it's, right. Okay. So yeah, you were saying about our release day. What are you doing
Yeah.
tonight?
So, um, actually, it's kind of a relaxed affair. Um, we all kind of work. So I don't know if you know, but Damien and Mo are music teachers. So
Okay.
they generally have a lot of work going on in the evening times.
Mhm.
So we decided then that the next day, once it's released, then we'll go for broke.
Yeah, that sounds good, mate. What about upcoming shows then? I mean, I know like you had noticed that Metal for the Masses, weren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, are you planning to get out on the road, get over to the UK, even to Europe?
Well, yeah, definitely the UK and definitely Europe. So essentially, what had happened was, I don't know if you'd seen any of the previous videos we had. Ricardo, who was our bass player, he had to um he was offered a position at CERN,
Right.
so we couldn't turn around to him and say, no, you can't take that. You have to. So he's there now, and actually, Damien is going over next week to visit the Large Hadron Collider.
Oh
We, you
wow.
know, so we're still in close contact. We're still good friends.
Yeah.
Um, and so at the moment we do not have a bass player, but we have a bass player in the works.
Right.
So we've been offered a few shows coming up at the end of this year,
Uh-huh.
and we're hoping to get it. See, again, here's the thing. We want to have enough songs to play a full show. And
Hmm.
even at the moment, with this first release and the songs that we've played previously from the the the, the, the next release that's coming,
Yeah.
um, we still feel that we don't have enough to
Right.
do like a proper set. So anything that we would do would be, I suppose, either a support slot or an opening slot, really. So we're working now to get those next few songs done. We've got about four in the works that we're pretty much ready to rock. And then we're hoping to get over to the UK soon. And I think I think that's going to happen. I really do.
That'd be amazing.
Europe now. We were offered a few shows in Europe, and we're just looking, particularly in the Czech Republic, and we're just
Right.
looking financially to see if it's viable. But I think it's coming, definitely.
You say you've been in the industry a while then. Can you tell us a little bit about your previous band and what happened with them?
Yeah, sure. So I was in a band from 2000 called Eyes Closed, and
Right.
I was the singer and guitar player,
Right.
and we were together for 14 years, and we did a lot of supports. Now we
Hmm.
supported Paradise Lost, we supported Rollins Band. That's what I was saying
Right.
to you previously about us going up to Belfast.
Hmm.
Um, we did Machine Head, we
Oh,
did
wow.
Stained, we did Disturbed,
Mm.
a lot of that, and we recorded our debut album in 2009 in January in Sweden with Jens Bogren,
Right.
who, of course, did Opeth and
Yeah.
Catatonia, etc.
Mhm.
So, and he's still a good friend of mine. I hate name
Uh-huh.
dropping, Jesus Christ, but he's
I
still a
try
good
not to
friend.
do it. I did it just now as well, mate. Carry on. That Altarium, yeah, carry on.
But so that was that, and again, I don't think we were savvy in the sense that we had a great manager, etc. But I don't think we were savvy um, when it came to how the new way of doing things was,
Mhm.
with the internet, with the media, etc. And again, it's strange. You look back and you say, if only, but
Yeah.
you know, A leads to B leads to C leads to D, and
Mhm.
D is Nebularis.
Mhm.
And you know, I think Damien is so savvy when it comes to this kind of stuff. Mo is so great when it comes to look at. There's Mo and all I have to do is sing. I don't need to do anything else. I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about any of this stuff. But I did go. I did go on tour with a band I was with called Luther.
Right.
Um, and we were in the US for a year, and we toured in 26 different states, etc.
Wow.
And yeah, definitely an experience.
Mhm.
The best of times and the worst of times. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you can imagine.
Yeah.
But I think now, truly, with this band, um, and don't forget, I'm actually in a band as well called the Dystopian Project. So I
Okay.
play guitar and I do backing vocals.
Mhm.
Um, but I think all of the bands, um, including the Dystopian Project, we have lacked the savviness to we've lacked this new way of trying to push ourselves forward,
Mhm.
which I think is something that um, all new bands need to utilize,
Mhm.
you know. And I think when you have somebody like Damien, who he's not just a drummer, he's a genius. When you
Right.
have somebody like Damien there at the helm of your social media, etc., I think
Mhm.
sorted.
That sounds good, man. What's it like for venues around where you are? I mean, you got Dublin and then you got Cork coming in, and
Yeah, in Dublin, in the venues in Dublin, for example.
yeah.
So we used to have a lot more venues than we do
Mm.
now. Um, we're kind of, you see, again, Dublin has suffered from, I don't know if it's the same in the UK, but Dublin has suffered from a kind of a shrinking of metal bars, rock bars, etc.
Yeah.
There was a time there was a time back in 2010 we had like six or seven,
Right.
just within 5 minute within a
Mhm.
5 minute walk.
Mhm.
Now we're down to two.
Right.
The venues themselves, we have we've got four venues that are suitable for upcoming bands
Right.
where they can afford to be able to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no venue in the city where it's like, okay, you play, and
Mhm.
there's one venue in the city where you can just play without paying,
Right.
and then anything that's made on the door goes to the bar, and then you get, let's say you want €400 for the band,
Mhm.
they'll give you the €400, and they've made a shit ton more with their ticket
Right.
sales, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a dying industry, to be
Mm.
honest with you. But there's only one venue that I can think of in Dublin where um it doesn't matter if there's a gig on, the
Mhm.
people will be there because they love.
Mhm.
So that's Fibber McGee's in
Yeah, I've
Dublin.
heard of him
That's
engaged. Yeah.
that's where we did the Metal to the Masses shows.
Right. Okay.
And so you're guaranteed on a Friday and a Saturday it's going to be packed anyway. So it
Right.
really doesn't matter, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So any band can play and it's great. And
Right.
that's such a fantastic thing to have a place where, you know, music is going to happen,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not it's live or not. They're just there
Mm.
for the metal. They're only
Exactly.
there for the metal. They're there for the metal.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm going to go to a gig, I'll go to Bannerman's up in Edinburgh. That's a fantastic venue. I don't know if you've been there. That's
I
absolutely
was, I was, I
out.
was.
Oh, that is a
Yeah,
fantastic venue. The
yeah. I
Trillions,
was there.
Newcastle. Me and I was just like, no, not a fan. So seriously, Newcastle isn't great. We did have a venue in Durham, but that's closed about 4 or 5 years ago now. Again, people didn't go out to support the bands. I think we had Eval Pay there, and it was packed.
Hmm.
I can't remember what. We had like a day of metal and it was up and coming bands, and there was about 10 of us in the room. It's like it's a massive venue. So it's just the Chinese now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's just
See,
shit.
I'm gonna assume that you're probably around the same age as me, right? So
I'm an old bastard. Yeah,
yeah, I'm old. Like I'm 45 next month.
I'm 54,
But
mate. Oh, we're running out of time. Running out of time.
oh, sorry,
Carry on, carry on, carry
shit.
on. It's fine, man. It's fine. Carry on. Sorry. Carry on.
Um, so I remember at the time when we were growing up and we were going to shows, there was no internet. There was
No.
no, so the only way that you would hear about a band is they're going to play here, they're going to play there,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Yeah.
Now I think the problem is that the lack of people showing up in venues is possibly due to the fact that everybody has access to everything all the time.
That's the problem, innit? That's the problem, mate. It
Yeah.
really is. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, we could get all political about it, but yeah, you know what I mean? I know. Anyway, back to this interview because we're running out of time.
Sorry. I'm so
Sorry,
sorry. I'm
man. No,
so
I
sorry.
could talk all night, mate. Okay. Where. Okay, here's a good one, right? If there was a made up song about yourself, what would it be called?
If there was a made up song about ourselves, what would it be called? God, that's a curveball. You're after throwing a curveball in right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Um, oh my, I'm supposed to come up with this on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
um, oh, the people who tried
Cool. I
and
like that.
possibly succeeded. And possibly
I
succeeded.
think with this album, you could, and you really should succeed with the right support, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I I would
hopefully,
wish.
hopefully, you never know, man. I mean, I love the album. I think it's fantastic. And I'm not just
Thank
bullshitting
you.
that. You know,
Thank you
there's
so much,
been a
man.
few
Thank you.
albums out this year already. I mean, there's yours, Altarian, which is symphonic metal, female. I never used to be in the female metal, but getting into it more.
Mm.
Who else was released a kick-ass album? I don't know, but yeah, yours is up there, mate. It's brilliant. I'm really
Oh,
enjoying
thank
it.
thank you
I'm
so
really
much, man.
enjoying it.
That really means a lot because
Mate. I just feel
it's
shit. I cannot get around to reviewing because I get so busy these days. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you've seen this phenomenon online on YouTube and that with some Muppet sat there reviewing the album, go headbanging to the music. And you're like, I'm sorry, that doesn't do it for me.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm really fucking
I
contentious as to what I
understand.
say. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
well,
they're trying to. It's like, okay, here's a reaction to an album or a reaction to,
yeah,
but
just pissing me
you
off.
want a reaction to be, okay. I don't want to see somebody sitting there head banging to stuff. Oh,
That's
I
what I
do,
mean.
but
Yeah,
I want to hear criticism. I want to
yeah,
hear what they
you
think.
know
I
what I
want to
mean?
hear about the melodies, etc. What
Mm,
are the vocals like? What are the drums like, etc.
exactly.
So
Yeah. I don't know. It's just me. Me getting old, mate. Victor, do you know who Victor Meldrew is? 1 Foot in the Grave.
yeah,
Ever heard of
of course I do.
that? I don't know. That's what I'm getting like, mate. I'm getting like that.
I was born in the 70s, man.
Yeah, but Dublin's like my girlfriend's Ukrainian, right? So sometimes I'm having to explain things to her, and it's like she doesn't know what some bands I'm into. And that, like, she's like, "Who's Aerosmith? Can you fucking
Hey, look, my wife is Spanish, and I schooled her on Father Ted about 15 years ago, so
It's like,
she's
fucking
well
hell.
aware.
Who is this? She's gonna kill me when I come out of here if she's listening.
Oh dear.
You give me 4 words then to describe your new album.
4 words to describe the new album. Um, Epic, thought provoking, um, didactic,
That's a good word.
and it is a good word,
Yeah, I like that.
and hopeful.
Brilliant. So now then, a bit harder. 5 words to describe your band.
Ooh. Okay, family,
Yeah.
best friends. Is that one word?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's cool. We'll
Okay,
let you
friend.
off. Yeah.
Focused. Um, hardworking. No, that's like
Yeah,
a
that's
job
cool.
interview.
Hard
Hardworking.
working. Yeah.
um, and most importantly, to me, empathic.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Right. A quick four. What's 5 questions? Where's the fifth one going? Right. 4 fast questions, right? So the first thing that comes into your head, vinyl or digital?
Say that again.
What? We don't say vinyl or digital. Vinyl or digital. No, vinyl or digital. Vinyl or digital. You know,
uh, I'm gonna say for this, it's gonna be controversial. I'm gonna say digital.
really
Yeah,
disappointed. Disappointed.
I know, I
Right.
know, I know.
Irish fry, which I've had, which is amazing, or Guinness.
Irish fry or Guinness?
Yeah,
Has to be Irish fry.
absolutely. And it is different to the English breakfast a little bit. Um, Festival or small intimate gig?
Say that again. Sorry.
Festival is it's my accent, isn't it? I'm sure.
I think so.
Festival.
Yeah.
There it is. I living with her. Festival or small intimate gig?
Oh, small gig. 100%.
And so, are you guys saints or sinners?
We're 50-50.
Right. Okay. Like it, mate. Well, again, congratulations on the album. Hopefully, we will
Thank
catch you over here in the UK, or might even get over to Dublin. And my girlfriend likes going to the beach a lot at the minute. But yeah, anyway. Do you have any final words for our fans? No, fuck's sake. Do you have any final words for your fans, our view? No, that's even wrong. Not even had a beer. Do you have any
Go
final
on.
words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Um, I would just like to say, thank you so much for your enthusiasm, your comments. Thank you so much. We're actually overwhelmed by the response that we've had from people. It's not something that I would have expected, or I think the rest of us would have expected, and we're overwhelmed. And we, because of that response, all we want to do is make you happy and create the best music that we can to please you.